Clouding over with rain arriving in the north, and the outlook is unsettled with a storm brewing for the weekend. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Wednesday, 1st of...
It's your birthday month.
I'm already pre-planning next Friday, everybody, my birthday month, just so everybody is prepared. Autumn is certainly rattling in. And we have seen so many storms coming across the Atlantic, causing widespread disruption. We saw the scenes in Ibiza yesterday, and they ended up getting colossal amounts of rainfall. These were some of the peak daily rainfall totals, record-breaking across the island. And in fact, some places saw half the year's worth of rainfall falling in just one day. And now we cast our eyes to the Atlantic for our next hurricane, Umberto. We talked about it yesterday, but it is set to track towards our shores. Another remnants of another hurricane, bringing with it all this warm air and energy. And for us, we are very likely on Friday to see our first named storm of the season. So we move into October and the floodgates open for the storms to rattle in. And some will feel that change today because across the north we have these wetter, windier conditions moving in. Nothing to do with those storms, just more weather fronts queuing up. But in the south, we sit with the warmth and sunshine that we have for recent days. But this is the very soggy scene greeting us on our radar. Rain for Scotland, Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England and Wales. Good morning to you. Stormy weather is heading towards the UK on Friday, and we look out to the Atlantic to see the developments. Two hurricanes, Imelda and Umberto, tracking their way towards the UK. They'll be picked up by the jet stream with very warm air. They'll move over cooler waters to become extratropical, but then they bring this deep area of low pressure but cloudy, wet and windy across the north. And this divided theme continues for the next few days. So let's take a look at our outlook. So we look at the north of the UK first of all. Scotland, Northern Ireland, northern areas of England, always closer to our low pressures, always closer to our wet weather. And this is the very soggy scene for the next 7 days. First off, temperature-wise, we sit around average, turns cooler into next week. But percentage chance of rainfall remains high. We have our band of rain moving in today. It's through Thursday and Friday. The rain turns very heavy, and we're likely to see warnings in force for not just heavy rain and strong winds, and then it's unsettled into next week. So we move into October, and the weather gets the memo. It is autumn storms that continue for the next 7 days. Fortunes further south for England and Wales as we head through the next 7 days. Again, temperature-wise, it is mild, above average, moderating a little into next week. But I think the big talking point will be how much rain we are set to see. Largely fine and dry for today and tomorrow. Friday, we start to see this storm moving in. It stays wet and windy into the weekend and lasts into next week. Good morning to you. The outlook for the next few days is fairly cloudy with outbreaks of rain, but we have some stormy weather on our way. That's because we're watching two hurricanes in the Atlantic, Hurricane Imelda and Umberto, and as they get picked up by the jet stream and tracked towards the UK, they will bring, later on Friday, this deep area of low, then cloudy and wet, a miserable afternoon to come. That's it for me for now. There's plenty more still to come. You're watching Good Morning Britain. And it will look like our weather's all wrapped up as we head through the next few days. Two hurricanes over in the Atlantic, Imelda and Umberto. They will track across the Atlantic, being picked up by the jet stream, becoming extratropical, so turning over cooler waters, but they don't really lose very much intensity. This is a wrapped-up low that arrives on Friday. It is likely to be... Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. Our weather today is fairly divided. We have rain and wind in the north, and in the south, after a bit of a wet start, it will turn drier and brighter later. This is the scene greeting us this morning. The radar showing a lot of rain, the satellite picking out a lot of cloud. It means it is a milder start than we had this time yesterday morning. And after a cloudy, wet start this morning for England and Wales, it turns dry and brighter this afternoon. And in the sunshine, 20 degrees will actually feel very nice indeed, like it has for the last few days. But Scotland, Northern Ireland, northern areas of England, we have heavy rain this morning, easing by this afternoon, but staying grey and grim with some blustery winds with temperatures just 16 or 17 degrees. This evening and overnight tonight, we keep that divide. It is cloudier but mild in the south, with wet and windy weather yet again in the north.